The music was too loud for a confession, which is why he chose that moment. Crystal glasses sweating in our hands, laughter stitched into the air like it belonged there. My wife's fingers rested on my wrist, light, possessive, rehearsed. Then a shadow fell across the table, tall, confident, smiling like he already owned something of mine. He leaned in just enough for me to smell his cologne and arrogance. Your wife won't be going home with you tonight. My jaw didn't drop. My heart didn't race. That reaction was already spent weeks ago. I looked up at him slowly, measured him, not with anger, with inventory. I said, quietly, "You have 30 seconds to walk away and forget this table exists." He laughed. People always laugh when they think they're winning. That was the moment I knew I'd timed everything perfectly. I married her believing in patterns, Sunday mornings, shared jokes, the quiet comfort of knowing someone would be there when the world went dark. We built a life that looked solid from the outside. Friends envied it. They said we were balanced. That word, balanced. What they didn't see was how balance can hide rot, how silence can be mistaken for peace. She used to tell me everything, or so I thought. Dreams, complaints, small irritations that make a marriage human. Somewhere along the way, the honesty thinned, the warmth cooled. I blamed work, stress, time. I always blamed myself first. That's the flaw people exploit. I didn't catch them in bed, no dramatic scene, no lipstick on a collar. It was a pattern break, a phone face down, always. Password changed, always. Tired, except on nights she wasn't home. Then a name surfaced, repeatedly, in emails she forgot to delete, in calendar entries labeled Jim, in smiles she didn't share with me anymore. I watched instead of confronting. Pain has a way of sharpening patience. I followed threads, tracked timelines, let silence do the heavy lifting. And one night, weeks before the party, I saw them together, laughing, comfortable, familiar. That was the night grief died and strategy was born. Revenge isn't loud, it's administrative. I didn't rage, I organized. I documented everything. Messages, photos, financial transfers she thought were invisible. I learned more about trust law, asset protection, and corporate governance in 3 weeks than I had in my entire career. You see, my wife wasn't just careless with love, she was careless with numbers. What she forgot, what everyone forgets when they underestimate quiet men, is that the retirement trust my father set up decades ago didn't just pay dividends. It voted. 76% of the shares. Dormant. Patient. Waiting for the right trigger. I updated the beneficiaries, activated clauses, made calls that sounded boring to anyone listening, and I waited. The party was her idea. A celebration. Investors. Board members, champagne, a stage dressed as success. She wore red, always red when she wanted to feel powerful. He arrived late, like someone used to entering rooms without permission. That was his mistake. He thought confidence was authority. When he approached our table, he expected drama. What he got was stillness. I gave him his 30 seconds. He used 10 to smirk, 10 to insult me under his breath. 10 to realize something was wrong. Security didn't remove him. I did, with a single call. Monday morning, the board convened an emergency meeting. The CEO, my CEO, stormed in, face tight with disbelief. "You're outdated. We're done here," he hissed when I entered. I nodded, understood. That was the moment the trust exercised its rights. Silence fell like a verdict. Someone asked the question no one wanted answered. Who just terminated the person holding majority control? I didn't raise my voice. I did. My wife watched from the back of the room, her face drained of color as realization landed, slow and crushing. The affair partner wasn't in the room. He was already irrelevant. She tried to speak. I didn't look at her. Power doesn't need eye contact. I didn't destroy them. I removed myself from their future. Divorce papers were served that afternoon. Assets frozen, narratives rewritten without her input.
I walked out of that building lighter than I'd felt in years. Betrayal teaches you something brutal and useful. Love without leverage is a liability. I don't miss her. I don't hate him. I remember the moment at the party, the exact second he realized he'd misjudged me. That look stays with you, and it's enough.